come a time when the history books are written that this will be considered a footnote, the year that it was not run at Pimlico. But this doesn't feel footnotey, if I can say. It still feels significant, yet very intimate as well here at Laurel Park.
I mean, it's the most important day of racing in our state, and the fact that it has a smaller crowd doesn't take away from the purses and the intensity and the desire to win important graded stakes races.
You've had an opportunity to, in the last couple of months, prepare for today, and one of the things you did was you remembered a legend, someone who I know you had great fondness for.
D. Wayne Lucas, he passed away 11 months ago, but I'd say the evolution of the way I got to know him, at first when I first started coming in Preakness in 2005, and he was surly and crotchety.
Yeah.
The coach could be tough.
Yeah.
He softened as it went along,
Yeah.
and he would post up on the back of that stakes barn, and you could chat and have conversations. He would talk about anything, always willing to do an interview on camera or just have a conversation off of it. It was a way for me to learn so much about the game of horse racing, and certainly one of the greatest champion trainers of all time. We lost a legend, no doubt, 11 months ago.
D. Wayne Lucas first arrived at the Preakness 46 years ago, and he showed up in style, saddling Codex, edging out the reigning Kentucky Derby champ Genuine Risk, claiming the first of his 15 Triple Crown victories.
Genuine Risk can't catch him. It's Codex on by the tacky flag. Trains by D. Wayne Lucas. Admiral Figueroa aboard. Codex wins.
He developed an instant affinity for Pimlico and Baltimore, and Lucas kept coming back. All told, D. Wayne saddled 48 mounts in the Middle Jewel, 7 of those 48 claiming victory. His final win, 44 years after the first, 2024, with Seize the Gray.
Seize the Gray won't go away. Mystic Dad, catching freedom, moving down the center of the track. But Wayne Lucas has done it. Seize the Gray wins the Preakness.
If Wayne Lucas never uttered a word, a legacy of excellence would live on. But of course, he did utter so many words, some of them biting, many to make you laugh.
I told the press said to me, "What about Baffert?" I said, "He's sneaky good." I said, watch out, he's sneaky good. And they said to me, they said, "Well, aren't you a little sneaky good?" I said, "No, I'm damn good."
There you go.
And in Baltimore, always in praise of his favorite Triple Crown home.
You know, I've said over and over, this is the most fun. I don't know if it's the intensity or the volume of people and everything at Churchill, but when you go that week at Churchill for the Derby, you know it. This one's fun.
A character unlike any other who embraced his role as a face of the game and who loved the Preakness to his core. And that's why he is so terribly missed this week.
It does hurt, and he was such an icon, and he would, after the Derby, he would always be the first one that would ship in, so we had him, you know, the very next day he would come in, and the press, they loved him, and the kids loved him, and he'd sit down at the end of the Preakness barn, and that's where we see him every day. But it is very sad.
I was, a young whippersnapper trying to make my mark, and I try and get to the barn early, and Wayne's barn was a couple barns down from us, and that was my goal every day, was to try and beat Wayne to the track. And he was already in his 70s at that point, and it didn't matter. I mean, the work ethic that he had. Everyone saw the D. Wayne on the plane, and how he was dressed to the nines in the afternoon, and the cowboy hats, and the larger-than-life personality. And Wayne changed the game.
Wayne changed the game, passed away at the age of 89 after holding court for so many years and very much being the face of horse racing. Not seeing him here is quite strange.
It is, and it was interesting. I watched Donna Brothers, part of the NBC coverage, and we'll have a conversation with her coming up later in the show. But Donna, in talking about 2024, she couldn't finish talking about it. She absolutely got choked up and had to stop doing the interview she was doing, just thinking about D. Wayne Lucas not being here. Again, it is hard to think of the Preakness and Maryland racing without D. Wayne.